Hi folks, let's talk about putting your stories up on our website. As you know, broadcast is no longer just broadcast, just like print is no longer just print. We all put all of our stories also up on the web so that people can click on them and share them, and so we can spread the love of your stories around. So here's how we do that at Fresno State. So the first thing you're going to have to do is go to fresnostatefocus.com/WP-admin. There will be a link to that in Canvas. I would suggest, though, that once you get there, make yourself a little bookmark to make your life a little bit more easy. And then you will come here and you will get this screen. Now, we do not want to log in with WordPress. That would be too easy. You know that big blue button? Don't hit the big blue button. You'll come down here to the little blue words that say log in with username and password. Okay, so click on log in with username and password. Your username is the portion of your email address before the @mail.fresnostate.edu. Your password I provided for you before the term even began. This is one of those things that you were supposed to check during that check-in quiz at the very beginning of term. You can click remember me. It always seems to remember me anyway, but you know, never hurts. So remember me and then log in. And if you have some Jeopardy theme music, you know, feel free to play it here. All right, so your dashboard may look a little bit different than mine because I'm an admin, so I have a bunch of other stuff on here that I need to see. What you will be worried about, or not worried about, but the part that you will be interested in is here under posts. And if you click on posts, you will see all of the things that we have put on the website or are waiting to be put on the website. You will want to add a new post, so you can put your story in. All right, and so this is what will show up. Now, sometimes this over here on the right won't be here. If that is the case, you just come up here to the gear and click on it, and that will pop back in. You don't need that while you're actually writing the story, but you will need it before you are done. So the first thing you will do is you will click here where it says add title, and you will add a title. How about that? We try to make it fairly easy. And then you'll see start writing or typing to choose a block. All right, so you'll start typing your story here. All right, and you will continue through your story. Now, your web story is not the same as your broadcast story. Similar, but not exactly the same. Your web story should be in the inverted pyramid format, meaning right up at the top in what we call the lead, which is your first paragraph, you will want to hit most of the who, what, when, where, why, and how. Now, obviously, the why and how, sometimes the what, are probably going to take longer than a sentence or two. But you do want to hit those main points very close to the top of your story. Sometimes your narrative stories for broadcast don't necessarily follow that format, although they can. So you might need to rearrange your story a bit to actually put the most important information up at the top. We write these much like newspaper stories, and if you have ever looked at a long newspaper stories, a lot of people don't get to the very bottom of it. So we put the important information at the top and the less important, but often more interesting data down towards the bottom, which is why it is the inverted pyramid. So you will start typing your story. You will want to keep your sentences short, just like broadcast. You will want to keep your paragraphs short, also just like broadcast. On a web story, you do not want to open it up and just see this wall of words. So in general, every 2 to 3 sentences, sometimes even one sentence, we will hit a new paragraph just for visual sake, okay? Usually you can look at it and go, I don't like how that looks, hit enter, much better, right? So you will be typing up your story. Again, start with the who, what, when, where, why, how. Put that at the very beginning. And you will generally be writing in past tense because your story will have already happened, things to keep in mind. And you will include quotes. Now, as you are typing here, things to keep in mind. People are going to be reading this. You need proper grammar. You need proper spelling. You need proper punctuation. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You must have those three things, okay? This is not you speaking, so the words actually matter on your web stories. As you are typing here, you will want to enter a quote. Now, for quotes, you will just type the quote, okay? Then you will end the quote with comma, end quote, said so-and-so. So-and-so could be Bob Jones, it could be Tim Smith, it could be whatever. If you have not already introduced who they are, you will want to give them a title as well. Usually you will have introduced the people by this point in time though. So you will enter your quotes in as text, just like anything else. And the reason I bring this up is every time you hit enter, you get this little plus sign to add a block. One of the things that you can do is you can pick a pull quote. And while these look cool, we are looking for a consistent look on our website. And until one of us has a chance to actually go through and start adding pull quotes to all of the stories that will pop up, we are just going with the basic format at this point in time. Okay, so don't use either of these, just continue typing. All right, and so you will continue your story. I have parameters for how many quotes I want in Canvas. I have parameters for, more or less how many paragraphs. I have parameters for whether or not you should be putting pictures in. Hint, if you have pictures, you should put pictures in. In order to put a picture in the middle of your story, again, this lovely plus sign, image, okay? And then it will ask you, do you need to upload the image or have you already done that? Usually you'll need to upload the image. When you click upload, it will put you on the computer. You can browse to whatever drive it is that you need, wherever your picture is stored, and you can upload it. Okay, I will show you kind of what one of those does. And it will actually pop you into this. So you will see a bunch of these thumbnails. Your new picture will be the first one that pops up. You will want to give it, we'll just put our media there. You'll want to put in alternate text for it, okay? That makes it accessible to people who use screen readers. It will also tell people whose internet connections are slow, who don't load images very quickly, what it is that they're waiting on, okay? So, and there you go. Now you have a picture in here. I don't know why it thinks I want to leave the site. I don't want to leave the site. So there you go. Now you have a picture in here. You can write a caption, okay? And then when you're done, hey, we start typing some more down here, okay? At the bottom of your story, you'll hit your little plus sign again, and you will add the YouTube link for your story. The directions on how to upload to YouTube for Fresno State Focus and the directions on how to grab pictures, still pictures, out of your timeline from Adobe Premiere Pro are both in Canvas, and I will actually repost those along with all of the rest of this web stuff so you can find it easily, okay? So the last thing in your story will be the link back to your YouTube clip, all right? And so you'll put the URL here, you'll click embed, and it will actually put your thumbnail of your story down here on the bottom of your post. When you have done all of that, you will come over here, and sometimes it'll pop you to block. You'll click document. Again, if this is not here, hit the gear. You will scroll down. I need to clean out these categories, but you will click a couple of these categories. Ones that actually show up on our homepage are Central Valley, Fresno State, featured, lighter side, and sports. A lot of the rest of these don't actually show up. Oh, and vote 2020 and weather. Weather is generally meant for weather forecasts, although if If it snows and you do a story on that, that would go under weather. So there you go. So pick some categories that make sense. Do not add new categories, please. Tags. Tags are actual search terms. So the categories tell the website where to put your story in the sections on the website. Tags help people find your story through a search. So if this is a story about Armenia, you will use Armenia as one of your tags. If it's Fresno State, you will use Fresno State as one of your tags. If conflict is part of your story, you will add that in. So you'll add, a number of tags. You don't have to go nuts. You don't have to put the hashtag sign in. In fact, don't do that because it makes it messy. Then you will come down here and you will have a featured image. So the featured image is the one that is, let me load this up over here. The featured image is actually all of these little thumbnail pictures. Okay, so without a featured image, you get a blank white spot on our website. And that's not pretty, and that's not going to make anybody want to click on your story. So you will want to add, now I have to find it among all my 9,000, here we are. So you will add a featured image. Okay, so you click on that box that says featured image. If you haven't uploaded it yet, you will upload it from your computer. You select the files, it does the upload, and then it will show up here as one of your first couple of stories. Again, you will pick the one that you need. Spell that properly. You'll want to make sure there's alternative text in there, and you will set that as your featured image. And what this does is it will put the image at the very top of your story. Okay, so you do not need to put an image at the top of your story. The featured image automatically goes up there. Okay, so this is a story that we have up. Okay, so that's the featured image. She had other pictures, so we made a little gallery type thing up there. This one we added a little text to it, and then down here at the very bottom is her URL. So this is what her story actually looks like on the website. Okay, so if you add in all of the things that we ask you to add in, I don't know why it keeps doing that, your story will eventually look something like this. Okay, so there you go. You will want to save draft. Okay, it will auto save every so often, but make sure you save it as well. And then you can preview it so you can actually see what it's going to look like. Again, Jeopardy theme music here. And here is your story, okay? I didn't add in a URL, so that's why it's not down there, okay? And if you look at this and you go, you know what? That's not where I want that picture. You come back over here, you click on the picture, and there's arrows here. You can move this picture down. You can move this picture up. I know I have sometimes put quotes in and then decided, yeah, that's not where I want that quote, and I've moved it. And really, if it's a block, like if you want this whole paragraph to move, boop, there you go. So these arrows come in very handy if you decide you need to rearrange some things. All right, so there you go. You will end it by saving draft. You will not publish. I will decide if it is publishable. I will probably come back with some corrections for you, right? So that's all you have to do. You have to save a draft, and then if you come back over here and click on the W, you will see your story up at the top here. All right? And there you go. How to web story.